Jungkook is sad. Taeyong removed because of this? ARMY demands HYBE to speak. UPA shocking report has shaken South Korea's entertainment world and the global fan community. Kim Taeyong, or V of BTS, is said to have been removed from a major project that was initially promised as one of the most important steps in his solo career. Even more surprising, Jungkook's emotional reaction captured in a recent live broadcast has sparked speculation that the decision not only shocked the public, but also the BTS members themselves. Why was Taeyong removed? And why does HYBE Entertainment remain silent? ARMY around the world is now demanding answers. Speculation began with Taeyong's absence from a series of activities that had previously been announced to involve all BTS members individually. The project, rumored to be a cross-sector collaboration, suddenly saw changes in its participant list without any official explanation. The rise of speculation about internal conflict and alleged managerial interference has triggered waves of criticism against HYBE, which is seen as lacking transparency in informing the public. Tension escalated when Jungkook, through a personal live broadcast on social media, was seen holding back tears while mentioning an unfair decision and a sense of loss that should not have happened. Although he did not name names or give context directly, many fans believe that the statements referred to Taeyong's situation. The emotion Jungkook showed is interpreted as a sign of disagreement with the decision, viewed as inconsiderate of the bond and hard work among members. HYBE, as BTS's primary agency, has yet to give any official clarification on Taeyong's involvement in the project. This silence has only strengthened suspicion that a unilateral decision was made without group discussion. ARMY, known for being active and vocal, is massively campaigning hashtags such as #JusticeForTaeyong and #HYBE explain this across various social media platforms, demanding HYBE to clarify their stance and provide concrete reasons behind Taeyong's removal. Several Korean entertainment industry analysts have commented on the situation. They stated that such actions are rare unless driven by internal pressure or specific strategic considerations. However, many also believe that the decision could negatively affect the agency's reputation and its relationship with the global fanbase. A decision perceived as lacking transparency and full of mystery such as this risks triggering a crisis of trust. Moreover, Taeyong is known as one of the members with highly anticipated solo projects, including the release of a solo album and collaborations with major names in international fashion and music. News of his removal from a key project raises assumptions of larger conflicts of interest behind the scenes. This suspicion is reinforced by circulating fragments of an internal memo referencing an artist restructuring based on commercial value. Jungkook is known as someone who rarely expresses dissatisfaction in public. However, his attitude this time, emotionally showing disappointment and a sense of loss, is seen as a serious signal of disagreement within the team. Many believe this is not just an ordinary managerial issue, but a reflection of a deeper power dynamic within artist management under a large label like HYBE. So far, pressure on HYBE continues to mount. Several online petitions have been signed by hundreds of thousands of fans in a short period, calling for transparency, justice, and recognition of the individual contributions of BTS members. Many argue that the agency's silence will only worsen the situation and damage the professionalism it has built over time. Various international fan communities have even threatened to boycott upcoming projects released without clear status on Taeyong. They demand that decisions regarding artists not be based solely on profit calculations, but also take into account loyalty, justice, and mutual respect in the relationship between artists, agencies, and fans. This incident serves as a stark reminder that behind the glamour of the entertainment world lies a complex dynamic not always visible to the public eye. When a BTS member like Taeyong, who has built trust with millions of fans worldwide, is involved in such an ambiguous situation, questions about industry ethics and power balance become inevitable. Now all eyes are on HYBE. Will they remain silent and ignore the pressure from the global community? Or will they finally clarify and open a dialogue to restore the trust that has begun to crack? One thing is certain, ARMY is not staying silent. Demands continue to echo, carrying one voice. Taeyong deserves an honest explanation. And Jungkook, through his emotional stance, has shown that even behind a grand stage, there are wounds that cannot be hidden. However, amid the flood of information and emotional turmoil currently engulfing the BTS fan community, A fundamental question arises that we must reflect on together. Is all of this truly happening? Or are we being drawn into a narrative deliberately crafted to provoke public attention and emotion? As news of Taehyung's alleged removal from a major project spreads across platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Twitter, and various online forums, we need to step back and reassess. How accountable is this information? It must be emphasized that at the time this article was written, there has been no official statement from HYBE confirming or denying the rumor that Taehyung was truly removed from a particular project. The sources behind this narrative mostly come from speculative videos, clips from live streams, and comments from individuals without direct authority in the agency or artist management. Therefore, it is worth asking, are we consuming facts or merely illusions wrapped as news? When Jungkook displayed emotional expressions in his broadcast, the public immediately linked it to Taehyung's fate. But let's reflect. Was that emotion truly directed at the injustice done to Taehyung? Or are we as viewers simply interpreting it from a limited perspective? Isn't it very possible that what we saw was just a fragment of a far more complex reality? We live in an era where perception can be controlled, and public opinion can be shaped by just one viral video clip. In this context, can we still distinguish between accurate information and manufactured content? Is HYBE truly hiding something? Or are we, the audience, too quick to draw conclusions without sufficient data? It is important to remember that the entertainment industry, especially one as large as BTS and HYBE, is not immune to the dynamics of capitalism and marketing strategies. Is it possible that this narrative, framing Taehyung as a victim and Jungkook as an emotional witness, is merely a strategy to build sympathy ahead of a new project launch? Or perhaps, the rumor is being exploited by third parties seeking to create chaos for the sake of digital engagement and traffic? Amid this uncertainty, we are faced with a dilemma between emotion and logic. As fans, it is natural to feel anger, sadness, and confusion. But as information consumers, we also have a moral and intellectual responsibility not to fall into the trap of hoaxes or speculative narratives. So, have we verified the facts? Have we questioned the source of this information? We want to emphasize that most of the information underlying this article was gathered from social media and unofficial channels. TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, although fast in delivering news, are not journalistic sources that go through strict editing and fact-checking processes. Are we willing to risk truth for sensation? When hashtags like #JusticeForTaehyung and #HYBE explain this dominate global trends, we must ask more deeply. Are we demanding justice based on facts, or based on assumptions that may not be true? If it turns out that this news is inaccurate, wouldn't that mean we have contributed to spreading false information and reinforcing a culture of sensationalism? Of course, this does not mean that the concerns of fans are invalid. Love for one's idol and interest in justice within the entertainment industry are very human traits. Thank you for watching.